In this training, we're going to be talking about how we can use ChatGPT to create very detailed lesson plans for your records. ChatGPT can be a great way to generate ideas. You can see how I already have. I have countless things where I just asked it questions, give me ideas. So let's start with just the general planning. So let's say, for instance, you are going to be doing a lesson about the scientific method. You have to give it direct questions, and the clearer you can be with your prompts, the better outcome you're going to have. Create a list of 7th graders. Now, you should already have these vocabulary words in your curriculum, but I just want to show you they're real good about giving this type of stuff. Okay, all right. Now, notice I didn't give a number and I didn't ask for the definitions. So I can say something like redo this list with only 10 terms and provide definitions on a, let's say, 5th grade reading level. Now, I understand that you're looking for a 7th grade scientific method vocabulary. However, science can be complicated. So let's say you just want to use 5th grade for your vocabulary. And just like that, you've got your list. And then you can take this and you can copy it right here. And let's say you want to use it in a word search or a crossword puzzle. This is something very easy. But again, you should already have this stuff ready to go. So create a detailed 4-day lesson plan on the scientific method for 7th graders. Include a warm-up, a warm-up activity with the vocabulary list from above, a group activity for students to practice the scientific method, and a daily journal reflection prompt. This will include a 3-question multiple choice quiz with an answer key. Now see how I'm answering questions. See how I am I'm getting my prompts getting very detailed with the answer key based on concepts of the scientific method. I'm gonna learn how to spell that word. Scientific method and vocabulary. All right, so let's see what we get. Okay, great. So you notice they didn't finish, right? And you also notice they only gave me a quiz on day 3. And also they're not finished. So I'm going to hit continue generating. Okay, so now let's say I want to quiz every day, like I want like an exit ticket. Redo these plans, but create a daily 3-question multiple choice quiz with answer key about the concepts of each lesson, each daily lesson. But that's what I want. I want a quiz at the end of every day. Okay, so they made it. They made the quiz the warm-up. Okay. All right. So again, this is not what I want. Okay. Redo these lesson plans. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, now I see AI is kind of going off the handle here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here to my initial stuff. Okay, I'm going to actually copy all of this. And now I know what I need to ask. Okay, all right. Include quiz daily with an answer key based on concepts of the daily lesson. This quiz should be at the end of the lesson each day. All right, now let's see what we get. So I don't care what anybody says. This is helpful, but you definitely have to work alongside it. It's not going to do it automatically for you. Okay. Okay, there we go. All right, let's see what we have for the other days. Day 2, warm-up activity, group activity, quiz. Okay, great. All right, continue generating. The longer you do this, so let's say you wanted like a 10-question quiz, it's going to get tired after a while. I wouldn't ask for more than a few days at a time to hop on here and say, I need a 6-week detailed lesson plan on X, Y, and Z. You might get an outline, but you're not going to get all these details. So notice it's still generating because I'm asking for quite a bit, even only for 4 days. Now, what I'm doing, I'm just taking a look at some of these questions to make sure we don't have a lot of repeats, which even if it is repeat, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, we're just talking about the same thing each day about the scientific method. And this can be done for any class. And great, it gave an answer key. So this is something you could quickly put in a Google form or whatever. It's not going to take very long to grade it. Obviously, it gave you all the answers. So the goal of something like this, and then this button right here copies it, and then you can just put it into a Word document or however you want to do it and print it out and put it in a binder in case anybody comes in. We all know is I know that you are teaching with excellence. I know that you are creating amazing conversations and activities and things to get kids to know it. But we also live in a world, if it's not written down, it's not going to count. And what I would hate is for somebody to pop in on you and you not have these detailed lesson plans. So also when you're putting prompts in, if your building principal has certain things that they want in a lesson every day, like I had a principal at one point wanted an exit ticket every single day. That was her thing. I'm not a huge fan of exit tickets. That wasn't me. So if you have a principal who wants an exit ticket, when you put in your, so let's just do one more. Okay. So create, and you can make new chats. So let's just make a new chat. When you're doing this, imagine you're having a conversation with the computer. So it remembers everything in this conversation. So I could even do something like this. Create a description for this unit. This description is for parents to read about this unit on my website. So maybe you link everything to your calendar or whatever. Let's say you send out a weekly newsletter to parents. This could be something really great. And they know what to put in here because they pulled it from the conversation up top. You can even take it the next step further. Create, let's say, 3 blog topics that I could use to, or use 3 blog topics about this unit that could be shared with parents about the value of this unit. Okay. So maybe I have a class blog. Not only did it give me titles, but it also gave me kind of notes on what I can talk about. Let's say I have I send out an email once a week to parents. Create an email or create copy or email copy for parents sharing with them about this upcoming unit. I mean, look at this. You really could have a whole campaign each week about your lesson plans, and AI just does it. Now, what I will notice about AI when it writes emails and things like that, it often will write as a group. We are thrilled to inform you. So when you copy and paste it, just say, I am thrilled to inform you. So just go through and edit that. And I would do like a quick run through, but most likely It's going to talk about what was up in the conversation. And when you look at it, I mean, it's it's nice to read, but notice it's kind of broad, it's just talking about learning processes in general and, comprehension. Like these are all, of course, you probably could say this for any unit, but, just how detailed it is and really talking about the value of all the different elements of your unit with the warm-up activity and the group activities and the reflection, the comprehension questions. I mean, this looks really awesome. And then just edit it to what you need to edit to. And then if you're even a little extra beyond that, let's say you have a class Instagram, okay? Create a four create 4 social media posts for Instagram about this unit. The audience is parents and other science teachers. Yeah, include now that you don't necessarily need to put this because I've used this before. They do include emojis and um, hashtags, hashtag suggestions. Include suggestions for graphics. Because on Instagram, you do need graphics. So, I mean, if you're able to take pictures of whatever you're doing in class, cool. But if not, you can probably go on Canva or some other place and get your pictures. So notice it just really takes all the guesswork out of this. And just in this short time, look what we've been able to do. So now that I don't have to go through all those detailed directions, I'm going to do one more just to see how quickly we could do it. Okay. All right. Create a 5-day detailed lesson plan to introduce Romeo and Juliet. This lesson is for 9th graders. This unit will last, let's say, 4 weeks total. Each day should have an objective, a vocabulary warm up. I'll fix that. And even if you don't fix it, AI knows I mean the word vocabulary. A reflection. Oops. No, let's say a reading, reflection, question, and let's say a group activity that involves real world projects or discussion questions. Let's see. Each lesson also needs to include an exit ticket that confirms comprehension of the reading, but also prepares them for the next day through predictions. Okay. Let's see what we got. Okay, got an objective, got a warm up. Okay, so you notice this go around, I had 5 days instead of 4. So they're not super duper detailed, but I feel like it gives you enough. Your principal has certain expectations, like an exit ticket, or maybe every day they want a vocabulary activity. It's boom, it's right there, no questions. Now, if I'm like, this isn't enough, please provide additional details for each lesson plan. Let's see what it says. Maybe you want something a little more detailed. Okay. See, now we get a little more directions on what exactly they're talking about for their group activities. So sometimes you just have to ask a little more questions to get what you're looking for. Okay, I want to continue generating. And when I've done this, when I'm trying to do something like for the month, it really does, it gets tired and it starts just kind of trying to take shortcuts. So, again, we're still working with AI and they're still developing it. And so as for right now, sometimes you just have to be patient and continue to ask questions. Now, all right, so I have my lesson plans. So I could go up here and copy this. I mean, you see how quick that was. Okay, so I've got my whole week's worth of lesson plans ready to go. I can print out and put in a binder. Okay, now let's say I want to have all my reading logs on a sheet because I want the kids to be able to have it, maybe glue it in front of their notebook or something like that. Create a list of just the learning logs. Reading logs, excuse me. Reading log reflections. Okay, so I'm just gonna go back here and make sure. Okay, yep. So that's exactly what they did. They pulled all of them. All right, so now I could print those out and give those to the kids and they have them. Create a of just the warm-ups. Okay, so I always would have the warm-ups on the board or have it on my projector. And so you could have these on a list ready to go and you literally could just pull them up every single day and you know, the kids can see what they need to do for their warm-ups. So, and then you can go beyond that, create an email or create copy for an email or email copy. I think that's what we did before. Email copy for parents, intro using this unit. All right, so while that's going, then I also would do something like, especially if you use Google Classroom, create a brief description of this week's lessons for students to be posted on Google Classroom. Let's see if that even is going to make any difference about talking about Google Classroom. Great, and you can just copy and paste this onto your agenda for the week. And then also we can do something like that, create 3 social media posts to share on Instagram. That class on Instagram about what is going on in class with this unit. Now you notice I didn't say anything about emojis or hashtags, and look, it does include it, and especially since I said it was Instagram, so it knows what Instagram's looking for. And then I also could have, but you notice I didn't say anything about include suggestions for graphics. So I could also have done that too, and it would have given those notes. Oh, and then if you want to do like a include or create a list of 5 log topics that students could create relating to this week's lessons. Maybe you guys have a class blog and the kids could respond to these. And that could just be like an enrichment activity, and you could include that in so you could copy it and you could include it in your lesson plans. So that's something else you could just kind of keep in your back pocket. Should you guys finish up early, this could be something you can just copy and paste it at the bottom of your lesson plans and just say, this is an ongoing enrichment activity that we're going to be working on, if you have 10, 15 minutes at the end of class, especially if somebody's sitting back there and doing observations, you already had this ready to go. You do have to work with it. You do have to learn how to ask the questions. But I mean, just in this very short time, how much detailed stuff you were able to get in writing. I know that you know this information. I know you know how to teach this information. But again, we need to have that documentation just in case. Look, parents are going to want to know what you're doing. Your supervisor could walk in, your principal could come in, whoever is going to come in, and you have all this stuff ready to go.